NCRP Productions presents Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands, Episode 58. Welcome back to Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands. Let's get everyone introduced. This is Perry, your game master.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro, playing Dr. Desmond Wright, the Doctor.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Frankie, the Undertaker.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm playing Dr. Everett Wolf, the Doctor.
Matt, and I'm playing Ayden.
Hi, I'm Jill, and I'm playing Raya, the Mourner.
So last week, you guys were dealing with a fight across the entire camp outside of the Temple of Ai, or the tomb, outside of the tomb of Ai, at least where Ayden is fairly certain it is. In that battle, we had started with Frankie having been controlled in some way by the person, which we're still uncertain, the person in the ruby mask. Through that fight, Raya and a number of other characters endeavored to make attacks against the individual, and were generally unsuccessful because Frankie was there to hold them off, to keep them back. So Raya took a brave stroke in an attempt to safeguard Frankie's mind and potentially body, and said, "I have what you want," to the being. And the being offered a trade. Frankie would be released if you would allow the being to enter your mind, Raya. And you agreed to it. So Frankie currently is laying in the sand up top. Raya, you and the individual went down into the tomb. Prior to this, we have Dr. Wolf set a ways away, a couple of 100 feet outside of the camp, aimed at the group that is fighting. The group that is fighting includes Ra, Bess, Abrax, Cal, and Marud. Mm-hmm. There are 4 remaining Novus Dei there as well, and the battle was going strong. As soon as Raya was made the deal, which Dr. Wolf doesn't see or doesn't hear that happen. What you do get to see is all of the fighting appears to stop. The 4 Novus Dei take an odd flourish and 2 steps and step back, at which point all of the other combatants step back and sheath their swords except Ra, who currently has it drawn. He is the only one who still has it drawn of all the combatants. Ayden also, before this happened, had been thrown by Frankie down the entrance into the tomb, and your corruption took the better of you, and you went into the tomb. Now, heading down the tomb wall, you found exactly what you expected to find in there. You found writings from the Book of the Dead as you went through the tomb, getting to the chamber where the burial crypt should be. You were very engrossed in that when you heard Raya say, "Ayden, give him the stone." You, being as engrossed as you were in the situation with reading and looking at all of the markings, you said, sure, and tossed him the stone.
He tossed me the stone.
Tossed Raya the stone, that's correct. So, Raya, you got the stone, and in a Herculean effort of will, you were able to get yourself out of the control of the ruby-masked individual. And what the individual said was, that was a mistake. And so we start there.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Being down here, what is the layout?
You are in a tunnel. You are in a built tunnel that has been laid by stone.
Okay.
The tunnel itself is probably just shy of 6 foot in height. It probably is less than 5 feet in width. There's not a lot of maneuvering room here.
How deep does it go? Can I see the end of
No,
it?
you're dealing with Ayden's candle,
Okay.
and it doesn't show a whole lot of depth to it. But it is darker farther in, so you're reasonably certain there is some depth to it. Have you actually been in any of the tombs yet? I don't think anyone but Ayden has been in any of the tombs, correct?
I stepped foot into one to hide.
That's right. You were in the anterior room of 2 of them, actually. The group was.
Yes,
but
score.
not enough to where you would know. So you don't know what depth they would normally go to.
So I'm going to toss the stone back to Ayden and pull my weapons.
Okay. Do you say anything?
Yeah, I'm going to say Ayden, run.
Okay, so as you toss the stone to Ayden, go ahead and give me a willpower roll. You need to break your obsession.
I'm about to say, I'm probably not. I'm just
no,
gonna...
I think Ayden's getting thumped in the head with a rock.
Oh, that's what I'm sure of.
Oh, Ayden.
Knock him out.
So 16.
With a 16, you do get to look over and go, what? At which point, I'm going to have you go ahead and give me a coordination roll. Something is coming at your head. You can just barely see it in the shadowy light of your candle.
Spend your reroll.
I think it's better if he just.
Yeah, it's gonna beam me in the head.
What'd you get?
A 4.
Oh, actually it will. So you throw it to him, and go ahead and give me a 2d10 roll. Raya?
15?
So with a 15, the rock thumps you in the right leg. I mean, you see the thing come, and it thumps off your right leg. She didn't say grab it. She didn't say catch it. She said run.
Oh shit! It must be a grenade. I'm gonna run deeper into the leg.
Okay, so
You're a good man.
there goes the light.
Godspeed.
There goes the candle light, and
Idiot.
all right. So that's what you see. So Raya, from behind you, you will hear that older female voice say, "Pick up the stone." In your head, I want you to give me a willpower roll.
You can't. I'm like engrossed to the wall. You can't just throw something at me and be like, "Hey." That'd be like when you take the baseball and go, "Catch it, Pedro."
Right after you throw it.
Right.
19.
So with a 19, you will stay clear. You can think in terms of like squirming worms of black coming into your mind's eye. You can feel it itching around inside your head, but you stand clear of it. What are you doing?
I'm going to reach down, pick it up, put it in my pocket, and then pull my weapons.
Okay, so I'm going to have you go ahead and make for me a wits perception roll, because there is no light, and it's not right at your feet, it's right at where his feet were.
I imagine I kind of saw where it
I imagine you
landed.
did too, but you are now in darkness.
17.
So with a 17, you do have an idea as you step forward, you grab the stone, lay it into your pocket, and draw the esculpus. We're going to need initiative rolls, at least right now, for you and I.
18.
All right, so you have an 18. You will go first this time. So, what are you doing? You have the weapons drawn, you have the stone in your pocket, then you have just a bare sense of where the person is. Because of the width of the tunnel, it's going to be hard to maneuver, but it's also going to be hard to miss. So if you are aiming for a specific space, you're going to add 5 to the roll.
Okay.
But if you are going to simply hit, even though you guys are in darkness, you're going to be at +2.
How many actions would it take for me to get out of here?
You would have to get past the person.
Okay.
There is no room to move past them unless you do something in an attempt to get past them.
So, if I were able to, how many actions would it take to get up and out of the hole?
If it was a clear run, it would be 2 full actions to get out.
Okay. So, on my first action, I would like to try to smack the person with flat of the blade. Not really to injure, but to just surprise and stun them.
Okay.
On my second action, if that's successful, I want to make an acrobatics roll to maybe go low and get past them.
Okay.
And then on the third action, I want to try and get at least partway out.
And to continue running. All right, so let's see how the first action goes.
23.
So 23. So the person, the being, is going to parry. That is unsuccessful. So go ahead and give me a damage roll. And since you weren't aiming, also give me a location roll.
Location is a 4.
Very good. That's left arm, just so you know. And
Okay.
a damage roll. So this is going to be stunning damage, not killing damage.
Okay. 22.
22. Okay.
Nice.
It's actually a pretty good roll. So that is enough to stun the individual to move. Now, your next thing is basically you're choosing to use acrobatics to try and get around at this point.
Yes.
So go ahead and give me an acrobatics roll. That is going to be an opposed roll. I will let you know that.
17.
You're going with a 17?
Yes.
Okay, so you are able to kind of strike and then zoom past. On your third action, you are endeavoring to run out.
Yes.
Okay, so we're back up to you again.
Okay.
Frankie, you are out. Dr. Wolf, just so you know what's going on, they are all standing around. You're now seeing the 4 Novus Dei kind of looking around uncomfortably.
So
I've still got my rifle trained on one of them.
Very good.
on
Just
one
in
of
case things go bad.
Okay,
on my first action, I'm going to get the rest of the way out of the hole.
you are out of the hole.
Do I see my horse?
Go ahead and give me a witch perception roll.
16.
So the horse we're talking about is the one that you rode back
Yes.
in and leapt from to make the attack. You do not see your horse. You do see a horse,
Okay.
but it is from where you are to the right.
Okay.
And in a little bit of the weeds, or I guess the small bushes that are there that surrounded this area.
So once I get up and out of the hole, I want to whistle.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it because it would
Yep.
spike, and try and call the horse over
So
to
you're
me.
thinking that a whistle is going to draw the horse to you. That's your hope.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a charm roll with animal handling.
Do you know the magic horse whistle?
Is that my ride skill?
I'm sorry, your ride skill. Yes, my apologies.
Handle animal. Nice. I was like, oh, I was making up a new one. Okay.
There's so many skills that we kind of go, that probably should be in there, but we can use this instead.
19.
And your third action, what are you doing?
Is the horse coming over to me?
Not yet.
The third action I'm going to hold,
All right, very good.
and once it comes over to me, I'm going to get on the horse and...
So the activating action is if the horse shows up, you're
Yes.
going to try and mount to it.
Yes.
All right, so out of the hole comes the individual in the ruby mask. Comes out, comes running up, and is running towards you in a very deep masculine voice, not the voice you keep hearing in your head. He yells, "To me!" You know what he's saying because it's in Latin. The other 4, and Dr. Wolf, you'll see it, the other 4 all look backwards, at which point you would train your weapon up to notice that Raya is up there looking around, and the man in the ruby mask is standing behind her and has his sword drawn. She has her esculpus drawn at this point. The 4 are still looking around.
Come on, Michael, take a pot shot at him.
Well, I do have fast aim.
Go ahead and give me your initiative roll.
Fast aim adds 3 if you don't remember.
To initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it doesn't actually do anything for aiming.
Oh.
Actually, it does. It allows
Well-
you to make you take only one action rather
Oh,
than
that's
full
right.
turn.
It gives you the... Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh no, I'm thinking quick draw.
Quick draw.
Or fast
Yes,
draw.
you don't
fast
add
draw.
3, that's
Sorry.
right.
15.
15, very good. But it is your action.
Okay. So fast aim to Ruby Mask's eye slits.
Okay, so you're taking an aim action, and your second action is to shoot. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Come on, Michael, you can do it.
Use one of my rerolls.
Everybody gets one. Tell him, Peter. Everybody gets one.
A little better. Unfortunately, that is a 16 in total.
Okay.
to hit.
So for your side, you don't see any reaction. Ayden, give me an initiative roll.
Oh, Ayden.
Ian's about to deal with the mummy.
Yeah, prowess to that, right?
Correct.
15.
15.
Math
very
is
good.
hard.
So as you move farther in, you're running, which is what Raya asked you to do. So you run, you're estimating maybe 12 to 15 feet, somewhere in that range. You have that sputtering candle, and you come to a room, or you come to the front of an entry that has a disintegrating wooden door in front of it.
All right.
It's still solidly in place, but you can see that it's in terrible shape. It looks like... Yeah, give me a wits perception roll.
You're totally gonna find the mummy.
Sweet. He just needs a daddy.
That was terrible.
I'm sorry, who needs a daddy? I missed that completely. What?
14 persistence.
So with a 14, you'll notice that there are scratches in the wood on this side. They look like they're made with some kind of a device as opposed to cat or animal, that kind of thing. It looks like
Hands,
something...
human hands.
Probably not human hands. Probably, you're guessing probably the swords. There are a few scratches, but that's it. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to open the door.
How?
Uh,
So you know that these doors generally will go up or side to side in some fashion to move. A lot of them, however, were back triggered, so once the door dropped in place, something fell in behind it to keep it from moving.
Okay. Well, then first I'm going to make sure there's nothing written on the door.
Okay? So go ahead and make your intellect roll.
Danger, mummy, keep out.
That's a
Acme
nice roll.
Industries.
Danger,
That's,
keep mummy out.
22.
So, obviously, if there was something blatantly written there and simple to read, you would have seen it immediately.
Tuts.
But taking more time to look with the candle, you're going to have to figure the hieroglyphics, but there is something that's definitely written here, without a doubt, on this door.
Okay.
So we're going to move now back up to Raya.
So
Horse that's not shown up.
that didn't pan out. Now he's up here.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to spend an action to go towards the horse.
Okay, the other horse, not the black.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to spend another action to get on the horse.
Go ahead and give me an acrobatics roll. I'm assuming you're leaping to it as opposed to
I am.
slowly climbing onto it.
With my ride skill?
No, acrobatics.
Just acrobatics? Okay.
The ride skills once you get
Oh,
there.
okay.
You gotta earn that ride skill.
16.
Okay, so with a 16, you're able to get up on the horse. It's not graceful or pretty, but you're on the horse.
All right, and then I am going to ride off on the horse, but I am not riding away from the camp. I'm like
You're just going
circling
to circle
around the edge.
So, from where you are, if you circle to the right, currently sitting on the horse, if you circle around to the right, that takes you over in the direction of the tomb. If you circle around to the left, that will take you around into the direction of where the 4 Novus Dei and the 5 of your characters were battling.
I'm going to circle towards the left.
Towards the left, so towards where the fighting was.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Ayden, no? Did I do that wrong? Yes, Ayden. For you, go ahead. Did you give me a roll?
Yeah, so it was 23.
Okay, so with a 23, as you start looking at these, it's going to take you a little bit of time to decipher it. But it's some form of a recitation on the, how do I want to say this? It's a negative speech on the emperor within. The
Okay.
pharaoh within was not true, was not rightly set. It goes on to basically tell you that Horemheb was the only true lineage out of this time. We'll come back to you for the next part. So then, Raya, as you turn to the left, the black horse comes running through the camp, comes running back in, and stops in the general area where the Ruby Mask is. At which point you will see the Ruby Mask look at the horse, run to it, and leap onto it. He is on the horse. Dr. Wolf. So what you've seen at this point is you've seen Raya ran away from Ruby Mask, jumped onto a horse, and is now riding towards the group that was battling and is now just standing there. They're all looking around. You will then see the one in the Ruby Mask actually go to a black horse which comes running into camp. You're not sure why that happened. And then hop up on the horse. Yeah, actually, you would be there was a whistle. You don't know who the whistle came from. But you will see the Ruby Mask will leap up onto that horse. And that's where we're at when you get your actions.
You know,
Okay.
not to be a bastard, but you can't hit the guy in the mask, but you can hit the horse.
I was already going that direction, and I'm going to need a larger dose, unfortunately, because the half dose is only good on humans. So, this first action is literally going to be him basically popping one and siphoning off more to like more of a full dose.
And you're keeping track of the doses. I know we kind of combined yours and Dr. Wright's goodies.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now I've only got, technically, I only have 3 shots left now, but one's the super dose right
Gotcha,
now.
okay. So you've got it drawn. What are you going to do next? Because you have 2 actions.
Yeah, well, now drawn, loaded in.
And loaded.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty much all I can do at the moment
Very
because
good.
we're going to hope I can snipe this horse.
Frankie, if you will give me a vitality roll at whatever your normal minuses are currently based on damages.
Come on, Michael, hit him right in the butt.
21.
So 21. So You can definitely feel you're in a fog. You've been knocked out in a fight before.
Oh yeah.
This is that same feeling, like you were punched. It's the kind of the back of your head punch. Not that there's a monster difference between the two, but being struck in the forehead or in the face, you get a pain there that kind of sits as a stinging, smarting, I remember what happened. The back of the head was, I was, blackjacked, clubbed, I tripped and fell backwards and hit something. It's kind of that kind of throbbing that you don't know what was there, but something knocked you out or knocked you down and you are coming back into it. You don't really have a concept of time, and right now as you're slowly starting to become aware, you're in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, my instincts are definitely, if I'm on the ground and I'm like this, I'm very susceptible to attacks. I'd like to start trying to stand up.
Alright, so you're going to do for me an acrobatics roll. If you don't have it, you're going to do a vitality roll. If it's acrobatics, you're going to subtract 2 in addition to the normal. It's -4 if you don't have acrobatics.
Okay.
In addition to any other minuses you have. You simply-
-4 if it is acrobatics?
No, -2 if it's acrobatics.
Okay, so
11's what you need.
plus my already normal. Yeah, so I got a nat 20.
Oh god, so you're up.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you start to come up, that tunnel vision starts to recede, and you start to quickly remember you're outside of where you thought you were coming to the Tomb of I. You were running towards the man in the reddish mask. You know that for sure. Beyond that, you're not really certain what else. You have a vague memory of Raya saying something to you. You don't remember what it was, but it fleetingly comes there for you. And where you are currently standing up and looking, the fire that has kind of been knocked a little bit around is to your right. The tomb entrance, that depression that goes into the tomb as you reconnect with it, is to your left. And dead ahead of you was the direction that you do remember Raya having ridden out. That's
Okay.
what you see before you do anything.
All right.
So you have another action.
Oh, I do.
Getting up is an action. The waking up was just getting you moving.
Oh, okay. So can I use all my actions?
Yes.
Cool.
So you've used one to get up.
Okay. So now I want to locate the man in the red mask again.
Okay.
Because that's what I was doing before.
So something that clicks to you is you don't have your axe in hand.
First find axe, then
All right.
red mask.
Go ahead and give me... No, you know what? There's no reason for you to roll. You will find it and pick it up because it's
Okay.
not that far from where you are. And now go ahead and give me a wit's perception for your third action to identify.
7.
So with a 7, as you're looking around, the fire is the majority of the light, which means that everything outside the fire kind of loses some of its connection. You see a number of people. You see 2 on horseback, one that is kind of turning, you're assuming maybe just mounted, the other one which is riding, and then you see a group of people just standing around. That's where you're going to be for that action. So think about what you're doing as we move. Oh, and then I need an initiative from you.
Okay. 28.
28.
It's when
All
the
right.
Doom music starts playing.
So as we cycle back through, Raya, you are next.
Okay, so I am going to use my actions to ride and keep circling the camp, but stay away from...
So you're just playing Ring Around the Rosie with this guy, trying to dodge, and okay, very good. So what I'm going to have you do is I will have you making riding rolls in the same form that I would have you dodge or parry, and I'll make his riding rolls as an attack, because he is going for you.
Okay, I'm hoping... So my goal with this is that the other people in my group will, while I'm keeping it away from him, keeping the stone away from him, will try and take him and his horse down. And
But you're
we'll-
not yelling or saying anything present. Because right now they just see you, they're going to just see you riding around. And him riding around after you.
Okay, so I'm going to change what I'm doing then. So
Okay.
as I'm riding away, I'm going to yell to everyone in my group, attack the man in the ruby mask.
Okay, very good.
He can't get the stone.
All right. So Cal will yell, "Do you have the stone?"
Yes.
All right. And all of this is happening in English.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm going to, on the second 2 actions,
still do the same.
Still do
so
the same.
in effect, we're going to hold yours till he gets his.
Okay.
So then moving down from Raya, Ayden, you are next. So what you get is it's a curse for anyone who enters, but it's not your standard curse. The vast majority of curses are do not open this on pain of death. This one is less a curse of keep out and more a curse of do not worship. This individual does not deserve any such. Now, what you do notice on the door is that the writing has not just aged, it has degraded, and potentially was even, as you look closer at it, might have actually been somebody tried to work it off, possibly with stone or stone and chisel. But you've read what you know of on the door. What are you doing? You'll have this will be, it's one action to finish, so whatever number of actions you have after that.
So I have one action left, and I finish reading everything.
You've read everything on the door, yes.
Okay, I'm going to try to break the door.
With what?
Crowbar.
Okay, so you'll draw your crowbar and take a swing. Go ahead and give me a vitality roll. Nope, go ahead and give me a, it's not vitality, vitality is going to be the damage. Go ahead and give me a melee weapon roll. If not, it's an unarmed combat -2.
19, 22.
So with a 22, yeah, it does not take much to crack that door. Now, go ahead and give me a coordination roll.
I was trying to get you to karate chop the door.
Hong Kong Phooey style.
That'd be 13.
Are you good with a 13?
Yep.
Okay, so as you strike the door, it splinters easily, and what comes out are 3 small, you're assuming stone, not pillars, they're more poles, but a trap.
Ooh. Oh, like they like shoot out.
Yeah, swing out on a counterbalance. It looks like maybe they were held in place, and one catches you. Just so you know, I rolled 2 zeros. So you get struck as you leap out of the way. You get struck in the chest. Do you have any armor in the chest?
Yeah, 1.
Okay, perfect.
Matthew, you always cast detect magic and check for traps before you go in the door.
Where's your 10-foot stick?
I need your vitality as well.
2.
Well, that's good. That pushes it down to simply a serious wound.
Yeah.
Do you currently have a serious wound in the torso?
Is that 1?
That's a
1?
2.
No, I do not, but now I do.
So with a -2 to the torso, I also need to have you will be -2 on coordination and skill rolls.
Yep.
And I need you to make a DR 14 coordination roll.
I got 12.
So with
It's coordination, right?
coordination, so you'll add 2d10 and
15,
add
sorry.
coordination.
I'm not
So with a
adding, right?
15, you will not end up dropping the item that you have, but you get -1 to prowess until the damage is healed.
Ooh, okay.
So it's a stinging hit that throws you back. But at this point, as they start to lock into place, you're pretty sure that it's not going to jump at you. It certainly does not appear to be anything odd like animated or spiritually controlled.
Okay.
It was simply a trap.
Alright. Can I get past it?
It's your second action to get up. You're going to start trying to move past it.
Yep.
Very good. So I'm going to have you make a survival roll. And do you get a bonus out of your wasteland? Wasteland.
No, not for dealing with traps or anything.
All right. So then it's just then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a +2, which should offset the damage from the serious wound.
Okay.
And to remind you, it is a serious wound. This is a good solid hit. You're reasonably sure you have cracked some ribs.
Yay, more broken ribs. I just healed that.
I highly recommend an armored battle corset.
They only booby trap super good stuff. So
It's true.
That is very true.
Although, if I made a tomb, I would booby trap some non-cool stuff to make people think that's where the cool stuff is.
So,
With that kind of trap,
survival.
there's got to be something really good in there.
yeah.
So I got my best one was a 9.
So with a 9, all right. It is going to take you longer to work your way in. So the small stone pillar, I don't even know what to call them. The small stone devices that came out,
Pipe?
they're
Is that a word?
kind of pipe-ish. Yeah, I mean they're 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter. The 3 of them.
Dowels.
The way they come out, dowels, except stone dowels, but very long and large stone dowels. and it's you climbing over them. They don't have a lot of movement and sway to them. It looks like they were held back by the door and possibly something else. You're not certain what that would be.
What?
As you're moving through, what you realize, it was a beaten piece of copper that locked it in place.
Okay.
So as you get in with the candle, you are going to be in, and what you'll notice is there are 3 skeletons directly below there. One of the skeletons looks like the chest has been completely cracked in about the dimensions of this thing coming through and making a crushing blow.
Oh
Okay.
man.
And we'll
poor
hold there
fucker.
on you.
One question.
Yes.
Would safe cracking help with that, getting through there?
You're already in. Yes, it would have, but I've already got you in.
Okay.
So running back won't do anything for us. Dr. Wolf.
Okay. So I'm gonna aim,
Okay.
and I'm aiming at the horse, just so to make
Okay.
a note of this.
Michael kills a horse.
That's what this episode's
I've
called.
got something for
Michael
for this
tranquilizes the horse. No horses were harmed in the making of this podcast.
That depends, because I'm not going to just. Well, actually, no. Has he started galloping yet, or is he just
Yes.
about to? Okay, so that makes it a moot point. So
Go right back. Michael kills a horse.
yeah.
The
Unfortunately,
gang
if-
kills a horse.
Unfortunately, this is going to if this makes the horse stumble. Here's the thing about horses: they're like the Formula One of the animal species. Is they're strong, they're hardy, they're fine-tuned machines. One thing goes wrong,
They explode.
yeah.
One hoof blows out and the whole thing is it's Dukes of Hazzard horses.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen the carriage go over the cliff and then explode.
Well, my mind went to was like, horse skids, but then when
Just
cars
boom,
like
boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
tumble,
exactly.
Yeah.
Legs everywhere.
Yeah, this-
A hoof goes off, a tail flies off.
Genuinely, I feel bad for this horse if I hit. But sorry, Dad, I didn't mean to hurt
Very
horses.
quick, give it a
fake or
name.
otherwise.
What's the horse called?
Buttercup.
The black horse buttercup.
All of the
It's
Novus Day.
licorice. The horse's name is
That's
licorice.
even
All the
older
Novus
than-
Day.
Now,
Okay,
now I
and,
can't shoot him.
Gumdrop.
and every
This is horrible.
this is our favorite horse.
It's the nicest horse you have.
We will give you
We're gonna get-
everything.
We'd like to take a moment to have a nice, rippling flashback to the life that this horse had.
Licorice was rushed every night. He had 2 masseuses.
Hard cut to like a party night where they're all drinking, including Buttercup. Just
Right.
like everybody
Rescued a kid from a single
Rescued-
child.
lived a good life
Thank you. I get your joke.
in memorandum of Buttercup.
And let's see how well I did on this shot. Oh my god.
Is it super
Did Buttercup?
It
Did
was a
Buttercup
10 and a
juke
9.
Oh!
Buttercup did not juke.
Buttercup's going down.
Buttercup,
21 to hit the
they
horse.
told me when we get back to France, I could go out to the pastures. I just have one
This is
more
my
mission.
last mission.
This is my
Buttercup's Licorice's last mission.
Licorice's last mission for God. Licorice's last mission for God. Okay, I gotta write that down.
Well, Licorice is about to meet God, I think.
Licorice is gonna explode.
Oh shoot, that's right. That's right. Egyptian horses are filled with hydrogen.
Of course. Oh, God. Yeah, it needs to
Just
make
gonna
a
see
deal.
the hoof hit the ground and spark, and then it's just gonna blow up.
In the arms.
Leaking gasoline.
Right, horse legs flying everywhere, and a horse head just shooting at someone.
Unfortunately, that was a full dose. So normally a full dose is something that could kill a normal person.
That's so
it's a horse,
metal.
though, so I
So
don't know.
what would be the normal roll?
DR 20.
DR20. Okay.
Hyoscine's
Crit.
a hell of a drug.
You hyoscine that horse?
Hyoscine that horse.
Full dose. Hyoscine the horse.
No.
Nays and
Little do we know, Licorice has been building up a
Licorice had a hyacinth addiction.
Hyoscine addiction. That's now we go to the darker side as we go back in time.
I mean, because obviously this is a full dose to kill a human, maybe it's just going to cause him to get very sleepy and sluggish.
Licorice biting the vet, demanding more hyoscine.
No.
It's one of those drugs they give the horse when they're racing, so
Right.
they like do better. They don't feel the pain.
Right.
I want
Fall back into his habit.
Licorice.
Licorice had finally kicked this habit,
Right.
and now I've reintroduced.
You stuck him, and he looks up out in the distance and goes, raises one hoof and goes out. Stupid horse, do what I tell you to do.
I want the second movie, Licorice's Last Mission, Part 2, or again, like some
Licorice
cheesy.
finally got off the H.
Yeah. No
Riding the
longer,
lightning.
no longer on the horse.
All right. So you did successfully hit it. We'll see what happens as time goes on. But the horse is still running.
Yeah,
So, next action. Or was that 2 actions?
that was the aim. It was the aim and the shot. So
All right.
I'm
Perfect. What do you?
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So we don't worry about that. We will move on from there. We are moving to the group. So now, let's see what Licorice does. Well, so the horse goes down.
Yeah. Saw that one coming.
The
Licorice, no!
Yeah, all the Nova's Day ringing out.
It's all like crashes, like the AT-ATs and stuff. Like
Right.
the sand like comes up
Sand
over.
boils up. So the person who is riding it, the one in the ruby mask, leaps clear of it. For you, looks like he or she is going to succeed, and then comes up, perfect landing, everything's set, but seems to twist a leg and continues rolling.
Run him over, Jill.
So he'll end up, I'm going to just use he, it's the easiest thing for me to do. He ends up on the ground, and then you'll see that he starts to look up and starts to push himself up.
Okay.
We are back up to the top with Frankie.
Okay.
So Frankie, you did hear I'm not sure what the sound would be, but you definitely would have heard the sound of the horse hitting ground, making some kind of a painful neigh type sound, and that hammering thud, because you guys are up at the top.
Nay, I say.
Okay, is it within eye shot of me? Like if I turn towards the sound?
Go ahead and give me a wits perception roll.
Shall I see my children again?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit.
13.
I just
with
imagine
a
him
13.
talking like Mr. Ed.
So with a 13, you do see the end of it, which is somebody is thrown slightly up and then disappears from your vision.
Okay. And then do I see Raya on the horse?
Yes, you would see Raya just at the other edge of that. So where you look around, if middle is where the horse went down and the person was thrown up, Raya is to the left of there.
Did
Or
Frankie
you're fairly certain it's Raya.
Did
You're like
Frankie hear what I
85.
yelled to the group?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I'm gonna head towards Raya.
All right, so you are running. So Raya, go ahead and give me a wits perception roll.
17.
So with a 17, you will see Frankie running in your direction. You are currently running away, but not. You guys aren't paralleling. Frankie's kind of cutting the perpendicular.
And
It's
I'll.
your-
Oh.
It's your turn because you're running, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Unless there's something else you're doing on running. Okay.
No, but yeah.
So Raya.
So on my first action, I want to yell to Frankie, attack the man in the red mask.
There's no question you can hear that.
Do what? I mean, can I tell
You
them?
can change your last action because you have 3 still, or do you down to 2?
I have 3.
So yeah, you can change your last action to
Oh, the one who fell off the horse is closer to me than Raya is?
yes.
I misunderstood that. Yeah, okay.
Well, not closer by straight lines. The
Yeah.
one who fell is one direction, Raya's a different direction. You saw Raya, you were running to Raya.
Can
Raya
I
did.
tell that this dude is the red masked man?
Not specifically, but if Raya's pointing, you would have a pretty
Yeah.
good idea. There's
Okay.
no reason
Yeah.
you would assume
Yeah.
not.
No, of course.
So you will run over to the person. So this person gets up, and you guys are standing against each other when you finished your last action.
Okay.
Raya, that's not an action yet.
Okay. I am going to circle back around the other way, like make around the camp,
Okay.
and then I'm going to hold my third action.
Okay, very good. So then we'll hop down from there. So Ayden, you are next. So you've gotten yourself wedged inside. You've seen the 3 skeletons that are down in front. There's a very little bit of clothing on them. You would believe that 2 of them potentially were some kind of tomb builders, that type of thing. You wouldn't immediately assume tomb robbers. The third one, the one in the middle with the broken out chest bones. You're fairly certain that was done by the stones.
Okay.
So, and again, you did find that the way that the stones were held in the lock place was a battered, flat piece of copper.
Okay.
So you are inside. Once you get past the mechanisms, you are inside the inner tomb.
Okay. What's in here? Looking around.
There is a sarcophagus
Nice.
up on stone, as you would expect. There are hieroglyphs around. As you use the candle, you'll notice that as time ages everything, the paints have somewhat lost their luster, but you can read most everything here in the tomb. There's one section that has been watered. Water has gotten through and has discolored and broken a bit of it, but other than that, you have a fairly perfect inner wall.
Okay. I'm going to read it, see if it has anything of note on it.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intellect roll.
All right, last one. 18.
So with an 18, you're going to take, it's not going to be this single action. I'm going to run you a few actions. Taking a read around, I tells you in the glyphs around there that he was the one who brought the gods back to Egypt.
Okay.
That the false pharaoh did not do good for the people, and the people suffered. And if it were not for I, in his infinite wisdom, he would not, Egypt would no longer be what it is under his rule. It does not look like it got finished. This long, very expletive story of how he brought the gods back. You know, there's plenty of pictures with him walking all of the gods back to the Egyptian people.
A lot of the hieroglyphics look like cut and paste.
No, it's less that. Yeah, that'd be the right way to look at it. But it's less of that. It looks like they didn't get finished. You have a fairly strong belief, looking at this, you've gone through enough stuff, that I died prematurely and was kind of shoved in here without finishing it, which would make sense. There would be some, if you understood the stories right, there would be some who would have been very, very much in defense of the pharaoh. So they would have made sure the body got here. They would have made sure that the tomb was made right. They would have made sure that the scroll of the Book of the Dead was written correctly on the tomb. They're not going to mess with that. You'll find the Coptic jars and all of those things. Is that the right name? Canoptic jars, excuse me. You'll find the Canoptic jars there. You'll find all of the things you would expect, but there's almost no goods. I was pretty much sent to the other side with almost nothing in here. There are a few Shabti in here, or Ushabti, depending which way you read those. There are a few small trinkets here as you kind of take your candle around. There's a couple of small pieces of gold. Almost nothing, which would suggest to you, if you decide you want to crack this tomb, that there's a reasonable chance there won't be much beyond a simple burial mass. You're not expecting to see gold, a lot of gold, if any gold. You're not expecting to see a lot of turquoise or any of the other special minerals, any of the special gems. This looks like it was a fast job and then just sealed up.
Okay. I'll get ready to start working on getting the sarcophagus off, the lid off the top of the
So you are going to open it?
Yep.
Of course he
Okay.
is.
Of course he is, right? Okay, Dr. Wolf.
So the horse has gone down. Frankie's going after this guy. Now that it seems like, at least this guy's down again, this is actually a moment where I'm going to start reloading. But what's going on with the rest of the group? Are they still just standing there?
Now the group, the 4 and 5, are looking over in the direction where the horse went down. You would see postures. The Novus Dei look insecure. This is you being your psychologist. Hey, give me a psychology roll.
Yeah, and I actually do have some psychology. Thank you, Ray, for giving me that book.
Oh my gosh, Ray.
Psychology for dummies.
Ray. Where did you go?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? That is a 14.
So with a 14, what you read is they are uncertain. You'll see them with hands, all of them with hands very close to their weapons, unsure whether they should draw them. You can see that they are moving around in a point where it looks to be like they think they're doing something. If you had more of a military or a dueling mind, you would assume they were getting in position, which is not an impossible thing for you to assume, but you don't know what that would be. The 5 of yours that are there are watching them. Ra has continued to maintain his sword down. The other 4 do not have hands to swords yet, but your group is looking around more than they are. And they will quite a few times you'll see a head turn in the direction of Raya, and somebody is saying something to somebody else and pointing. That head will turn.
It's very odd to Wolf, especially if they assume that their leader just went down, why they haven't started rushing or why they haven't led the attack. This is something very odd. Something's off.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment, he's not going to aim. It's really, at this point, he kind of wants to keep an eye on, as much of a level on the field to see where it's best he's going to have to aim and shoot at the moment.
All right, so you are just keeping both actions, all right, and holding.
Well, reload, and
then hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at this point, it's just what's going on?
So, Frankie, did you hold, or did you have an action still?
I believe I used all my actions.
Okay,
to get
that's
up
what
to
I had remembered. I just wanted to make sure. So, the one in the ruby mask, I need you to make a willpower save again.
Oh no.
There's a chip you can spend too.
I got a 13.
Okay.
I didn't like that. Okay.
Okay. So again, you get that tunnel feeling, at which point you've lost control of it again. Raya, you will hear, because it would be something you would be watching, you will hear in a fairly loud voice a older female voice that says, "Attend me, child." And Frankie steps, you'll have one action, Frankie. Frankie steps in front of the ruby mask again.
Oh no, not again.
And in a deep voice
Okay.
that you hear more in your head, but you do hear it in your ears, he booms out. The voice says, "Give me the stone, as per our deal." And that's his action. So Raya, you will be next. Wolf, you will see Frankie has stepped up to the one that stood up, which you're assuming now pretty clearly is the one in the ruby mask, and has stepped in front of him again.
I have like a punch card for every time my mind gets controlled.
The 10th one, you don't even have to roll. It just happens.
No, it's the get out of mind control free.
Yes, I like
thing,
Michael's
so-
more.
Well, that would be 3, wouldn't it? Isn't it get out of jail free, the third one?
Yeah.
I'd also settle for a sandwich.
Okay.
So, Raya.
So, I'm gonna try and use Frankie's special control command again.
Okay. So, it's going to take an action. You're going to holler it out. Frankie, go ahead and give me a willpower roll. You'll take your normal subtractions that you have. You will add 1 to the roll. So, whatever your total is, add 1 point to it.
Spend a chip.
Well, I'm trying to mind game Barry if it's good or bad if I roll low. I think
it's always better if you roll high. You should spend a chip.
what if I overpower your mind whammy? You know what I mean? So what if I roll low and your mind whammy works?
Would you rather be controlled by me or by this guy?
That's what I'm saying though. How do we know what mind whammy I'm rolling against?
What about the mind whammier you know, rather than the mind whammy you
don't.
don't?
Maybe the
I
real
would like
mind
to
whammy
be
was the
mind-
friends we made along the way.
Okay. Odds. Okay, I'm gonna roll again. I'll use my free reroll.
Okay.
This is Will.
This is Will.
Okay, so 16.
Okay. So, I'm assuming I'm not going to assume. Raya, do you stop riding and face this person, or are you still riding around?
I'm still riding around.
Okay. You will again hear in your head, but you will also hear it around. The voice says, "Interesting. This one has a second skin." Are you sure you wouldn't like it to be released?
No.
Give me the stone. Still your actions, Ryan.
How many actions do I have left?
You only spent one. That I
Okay.
know of, you only spent one.
How far away from him am I?
One action would put you right up next to him.
Okay.
Make it a good shot.
So, I don't know if I can do this. Or
I
if,
like the start.
or if the horse has been trained to do this.
There's
Because
the
horses
question.
have to be trained to do this. But what I would like to do is spend one action riding to him. And then the other action, I want to make the horse rear up and kick him with the front legs.
Not a common thing. You would be surprised if the horse knew that. I'm just telling you that before you do it.
Okay.
You would be very surprised if the horse did that. These horses don't seem to be military horses. These horses seem to be
okay.
riding horses.
Okay, then that changes what I.
And I'm telling you because you would know.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in your homeland of India, quite a few of the people that would ride for the Raja or would ride for the nobility, quite a few of them are militarily trained, and those horses were
That's
different.
why I was asking
Mhm.
about
And you
that.
would have some awareness. Now, does not guarantee, but it is very probable.
I mean, I don't think that I would have ever ridden a
I
horse
don't
like
think
that
so either.
because
Your father would never let
when
you.
when Raya was in India, she was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm sure that I had seen
Oh,
horses
you've seen
do
it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to. I want to ride up on him and rush him with the horse and just try and knock him down,
Okay.
and then ride off.
So go ahead and give me a riding roll.
Okay. 19.
You beat him by 1.
Nice.
So as you ride through him, he is not able to get away. Go ahead and give me an attack or a damage roll, which is 2d10.
Okay.
You're going to add 3 to that roll.
10.
Okay.
Wait, 9.
9. All right. So you'll as you hit him, you'll hear him grunt. It just spins him as you get past. You don't even see him go down. But Frankie, go ahead and give me a will roll.
Sorry, like Matt said, math is hard.
10.
Okay. So you will hear in your head the female voice say, "Foolish, very foolish." Frankie, go ahead and give me your throat composure roll.
Oh no.
It is a straight roll. None of your minuses have any effect on it.
Oh, really bad
Oh, I
start.
bet they're all okay killing all those Novus Dale. Oh, yes.
I failed quite a lot.
Okay.
You should spend a chip.
Can I chip this?
There's a chip right there.
I will chip this. Well, I have a personal reroll.
All right.
I have one more.
If you suck, you should spend them both.
Wasn't very confident.
That was double ones.
Thank you, Michael.
Ooh.
Can,
Well, the chip will get you out of that.
yeah. I'll,
Why don't you use these dice? They've been pretty good tonight.
Wait, but Frankie could turn into like a super thrope, right, Michael? Right?
But Frankie's gonna turn into a thrope and go after me.
All right. I beat it by 1.
Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna have you give me another willpower roll.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna retire these. That's a whopping 7.
Okay. Very good.
Go away.
So I would assume Dr. Wolf would be watching. You will see Frankie shudder. That epileptic start tends to be the start of throping. But the seizure goes for maybe 2 shakes and then dissipates. I don't know that you've ever seen that. That's new. And we are to you now.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. It's not quite an well, it actually could be a little bit because maybe Frankie's adapting. Maybe Frankie somehow has some measure of control in there.
Oh yeah.
If he's fighting back against the throat, he's able to do that. Whatever's happening with this Ruby Masked Man, there might be another way. But I don't know what that is at the moment.
Do you have just tranquilizers or do you have real bullets?
I'm a doctor.
And the tranq launcher is probably not going to do anything with the bullet.
As I'm loading new fresh
What if we
bullets
put
into my
rocks
gun.
in the syringe?
Syringe.
I think all it does is it makes the syringe way less aerodynamic.
No, you just take off the needle. Then it doesn't have something to stab.
No,
It
I'm
just
saying the rocks would make it way less aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Because of the weight
Okay,
displacement.
how
Angle.
about sand?
How about sand? Just inject him with sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets
I mean,
everywhere. But
what could you inject in a person to make them not feel good? You could pee in them?
Oh, God!
I don't know. I feel like that would
I
kill
can't
you.
believe your
Urine
brain
syringes.
went there first off.
Okay.
Urine syringes
No.
would be pretty horrible.
Would it just be
Or
like saline, though?
urine.
saline would not make them necessarily feel bad.
That's what I'm saying.
It would. The syringe would hurt.
so there's two things that are going for Wolf's mind as he's. Now I'm going to take aim at Mr. Ruby Mask here.
Okay.
There's
There are no eye slits available to you.
I know I'm a bit of a distance.
He
Unfortunately, I
can't be
really-
armored everywhere.
They've been in full plate. They're pretty full armored up. So it's just a matter of finding the right joint.
Armpit.
That was about my next point. Yeah, let's
Elbows
aim-
and armpits.
I'm full of health tonight.
I was gonna say maybe the arm. Try to aim for one
Well,
of
there's
the
no
armpits.
armpit showing at this point.
Right. I'm gonna wait till he's like maybe flailing an arm
So
or
you're,
something.
You're going to hold action and aim.
Yeah.
All
At
right.
the pit.
So,
Someone shout high five and go.
But there is a fear in Wolf's mind as he's thinking about it. Was it really Frankie who kept it under control, or was it this person?
well, do you know that this person has control of Frankie? Frankie's doing weird stuff.
Well, this is the second time we've seen Frankie doing weird stuff,
Like guarding
defending
this
this
guy.
guy,
So-
which is really weird.
Just to throw
Mm-hmm.
an interesting wrinkle for Dr. Wolf to think about. Everybody in the group knows that Frankie is Catholic. I don't know if I use the word devout, but Frankie definitely is Catholic, follows the Catholic doctrine, has been through the church, I'm assuming has done communion, has done,
All of it.
my brain's not working. What do you do when you're an adult?
Confirmation.
I apologize. Confirmation. You know that Frankie has been a practicing Catholic. So the Novus Dei are speaking in Latin. It is possible that somehow it wouldn't be unreasonable for you to think that this one has somehow spoken with Frankie. I don't know. I don't know that Dr. Wolf would instantly assume mind control, which is
No.
not a common thing.
No, but there's been a lot of talk with with Wright going, "Oh, I've got keywords" or shit like
Now,
that.
there
It's
you
been,
go.
This is brainwashing, and he's
Well,
it's-
does Wolf know from Wright? Does Wolf know from anyone? I think we talked about this an episode or two ago that you've heard the words once.
Wright
No, I
told
told
me.
him
So-
that I was gonna say I had a code word, and I forgot
that's
that
right.
I thought he had
So
known
you
or
do know.
something.
So maybe Frankie's mind is weak, Raya?
Yeah.
He just knows
Alright.
about a code word. Yeah, I guess it was in reference to Frankie. So
Yeah.
Okay, cool, Michael. Good.
Did Wolf ever meet Alistair? Or did he come in after Alistair?
Wolf came in. I'm almost. Oh wait,
I did meet
you
Alistair.
did meet Alistair.
Then you would know that mind control is a possibility.
Okay. And you do know that Frankie's mind has to be weakened. You couldn't put what Wright says he's put in there, could not put what Wright says he's put in there, and not have some portion of mental strength broken down.
Exactly, and that's putting these pieces together is kind of the thing, but it still doesn't make a lot of sense if it stopped the throat. If somehow either the will of this individual somehow brainwashing Frankie, because he's still going with brainwashing. He doesn't think it's like any real mystical power here.
Okay.
But it's still weird that it was enough to keep the throat from coming out. That's the thing that he's kind of struggling with at the moment.
So
Well, I've aimed and I'm waiting for my opportunity. So that's
Very
where we're
good.
at.
All right. So he Ruby Mask, because nobody has eyes on the rest of the group. Ruby Mask again speaks in the male voice to you, and again you hear that in your ears as well as you feel like maybe in your head. He says, "This is foolish. you know that in the end I will win. The horse did nothing to me as you ran through me. Give me the stone. You have my word. To God, that I will let you and your companions leave.
Gonna say in my head, why do you want it so bad?
The stone is the way. The 2 stones are the fix.
The way to what? The fix to what?
You don't need to know that. Know that the world will be better when Novus Day has the stones.
If you want me to give it to you, you'll tell me.
Villain
Give me a charm roll.
monologue.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do I subscribe to a superhero game or
What am I rolling?
charm roll?
Is Raya charming?
No.
No, Ryan's
Ryan-
very not.
Raya's a bitch. Actually, I am charming today. I got an 18.
Wow. All right, so now you're not hearing it in your head. You are only hearing it through your ears. He says, dismount and walk with me. I will show you.
Ooh.
This one will stay here. And he points at Frankie. Now, you've walked with him before, under mind control, but
Okay, I'll dismount, but I'm going to be leading the horse.
okay. So he walks with you. You walk towards where the fire has been scattered.
I'm going to be staying far enough away that I could mount up and ride if
Gotcha.
I needed to.
So as you get there, Cal's going to look over and holler at you, Raya, what is going on? Marud also is looking at you.
I'm going to yell, stand down for a moment, Cal. Be ready.
For what?
Trust me.
And so you'll see that he says something quietly to Marud, leans in, and Marud says something aloud. You'll notice that the Novus Day that are there.
So, has Cal watched me and Frankie do our hand signals?
Possibly.
Okay. So, I'm going to try and do this secretly.
I don't need you to roll a stealth roll. He's not what the Rebby Mask is not watching you.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know that, but I'm saying I'm not going to have you roll. But what are you going to try and signal?
I want to try and signal to Cal with me and Frankie's hand signals to flank his way around the other side and try and get into a position to attack this person from the back.
Okay, so I'm going to have you make an intellect roll at -4.
I'm trying to imagine like what hand signal that is.
Right, well, it's the problem. What I was looking is I wanted to hear how much she was going to say, and then I was going to make the difficulty go up based on how many actions were there, because it was just stand down or run away. So what did we get for a total?
14.
14 will beat Cal's 12, which means that Cal has an idea. So Cal makes the hand signal for okay or good, whatever that is. I mean, the hand signals are going to have basically a whole bunch of, probably, the hand signals are going to have pretty much a fairly grand amount of things they mean. And you will see Cal say something to Marud, and they both start moving.
Hopefully he and Marud at least kind of got the gist of it.
Right? So as you get back to where the fire is, Ruby Mask hasn't looked back at you once. Does not seem to have any fear of you at this point.
Okay.
Looks around at the ground, finds a pack, opens the pack, looks over at you, says, "You will need to come closer." And that's the only time looks at you, opens up the pack, and brings out a couple of sheets of paper. As you get closer, as you're getting closer, you can tell they are rubbings.
Okay, it's still in my pocket. I haven't taken
I get
it out.
that. Do you come closer with the horse?
I do come closer with
Okay.
the horse.
So he doesn't look up, doesn't say anything about the
Okay.
horse. He says, "Can you read this?"
What language is it in?
It's not. It's rubbings from someone's stone.
Does it look like the rubbings from our stone?
Similar,
I say I know what it is.
Then you know what it does.
I think I know what it does.
Then you understand that it could end the plague in France.
We're trying to end the plague in England. We're trying to end the plague everywhere.
He looks at you and nods and says,
I think we have a similar mission.
we do. Except if we're successful in France, it will hold back what's coming.
What's coming? You know I'm a smart person. I know you're intelligent.
So he flips through the sheafs, comes to one that looks like it's written, not rubbed. Okay? Do you speak French?
I don't. I speak German.
Okay, do you envision that you can read Latin?
No. No.
So he shows you the last page. And he's looking at you.
I'm sorry, I don't read Latin.
Understand that what this is, it is a prophecy. It is the prophecy that was used for the king to take over in France. If you read here, as he's pointing down lower, if you read here, this is the part of the prophecy we need to stop,
Okay.
which makes the king ascend to the throne. If he ascends, it's the end of the world.
Okay. Are your people dying in France?
My people are already dead. And we'll end right there.
Oh.
What? They've always been dead.
We gotta go to France, guys.
Going to France.
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.